Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It is Friday. Happy Aloha Friday, as we say on the islands. 29th day of January 2021, and this is the daily report for gold and silver, our weekend review. And this week was definitely a transforming week as an army of retail investors went toe-to-toe against the hedge funds, first focusing upon selective stocks that the hedge funds had been shorting, and then later in the week moving on to silver, which of course is why it is so interesting to us. They have been advocates of building silver up to higher pricing, and I think that in the case of silver, higher prices are justified, whereas GameStop and AMC are now completely overvalued. But nonetheless, we did send out a trade alert. We've added to our SLV position, and we are looking to enter the futures markets in silver from the long side next week. Let's take a look at today's show. The financial markets had a rough week, to say the least, with the Dow closing down 620 points today, breaking back below the 30,000 mark and actually closing below the 50-day moving average. That is the first time we have seen that happen since November of last year. We did witness a transformation in the way some retail investors work by banding together collectively to have the kind of influence that institutional players and hedge fund managers have had for decades. And that is Redditt's WallStreetBets forum. You can see we're looking at GameStop that gained $131 today. That's a 67% gain in a single day. Group of retail investors continued to take stocks such as GameStop and AMC Theaters higher. They added to their portfolio by focusing upon SLV, the electronically traded fund, silver futures, as well as silver options. Many analysts, as well as speculators, have for years believed that the price of gold and its baby sister silver have been kept artificially below its real intrinsic value. And the fact that the Redditt group is now bidding it higher could easily take silver prices back to $30, which is the record high this year, or higher, because realize that gold hit a new all-time record high back in August of last year at 2,088, and that's the same time we saw silver only go to 30, which is $20 shy of its record high that occurred in the middle of 2011. So we could see a move much past $30 if this focus continues and traders bid the precious metal higher, because collectively they have the capital to absolutely influence the market. Like some of the stocks that have moved to astronomical levels above what I believe is their true intrinsic value, if in fact gold and silver pricing have been held down artificially, we could see a more genuine move in silver than in equities in terms of a sustainable gain. This is where my opinion differs. Unlike the stocks they have been bidding higher, we're looking at a weekly chart of AMC Entertainment Holdings, of course the group of theaters. You can see a tremendous spike from a low of $4 this week and a high of $20 with a close at $13. The question is whether or not this price point can be sustained. We can also see that on our weekly chart of GameStop. This market opened just at about $51, traded to a high of $480, and closed at $325. Is that a realistic price when you see that for the longest period of time, this stock was trading at a much lower valuation, anywhere between call it $2, $3 on the low to a high of about 18. So when we take that relative to what we saw this week, are these prices in these equities sustainable? I personally do not believe so. On a fundamental basis, the reason these major hedge funds were shorting these particular shares because the pandemic has greatly affected their income stream. In other words, it was based upon sound fundamentals of a contracting economy and these sectors being hit the hardest by the global pandemic. That reason that I believe that these prices are not sustainable and this kind of a parabolic rise in a single week will have an effect and we will see a parabolic drop at some point. And what is most interesting is that silver differs in that on a fundamental basis, we could see the market move higher and see that market sustain those gains. And it is for that reason that we sent out a special trade alert yesterday recommending that you add to your current long position in SLV. If, as I believe, that these gains will continue and are sustainable, we will look to position ourselves from the long side in silver futures next week. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We will talk to you on Monday for the next daily update and review. Bye-bye.